name's Bob, and welcome to AutoTalkVideo.com. Today I want to take a few minutes and pay a tribute to a gentleman who is without a doubt the #1 automotive PR person of the century. And of course I'm speaking about Mr. Dan Johnston of Volvo, who just recently announced his retirement. So a few things I'd like to say about Dan. First of all, he's just a terrific fellow. His knowledge is unbelievable. And one of the attributes that no doubt put him where he is the fact that his ability to work hard, study all the ins and outs of the automotive industry and Volvo, and also be totally honest with everybody, along with being a little creative. Dan only had one job in his career. He started to work at Volvo as a very young man, and he's been there ever since. Don't know how many years that is. I guess it's over 40 some. Anyway, he's still a pretty young guy. There's a little quick story I tell about Volvo, and the fact is there's no other car company ever became so successful in a market as Volvo did in the U.S. due, I believe, purely to the PR department. That's a big statement, but I defy you to try to prove me wrong. I don't know of any other car company that's been able to pull it off. And more than Dan, and he will be the first to tell you, they had a pretty good team. And Dan worked for a gentleman by the name of Bob Austin, who obviously taught him a lot. And then he worked with none other than Ree Hartwell, who we all know as the First Lady or Mother of Automotive PR. Later on came Col Dan Johnston and a few other good people. And about 10 years ago, who just left from Volvo, also was James Hope, who Dan was able to teach a lot to. So between Bob Austin and Ree and Dan, and like I said, for the last 10 years, James Hope, and a couple other people in there a little bit over the years, this was a car company that just straight up told it like it was, and were so good about what they did, and their events were so good that they had the backing of the journalists in America like no other car company's ever been able to. And I don't think Volvo will ever be able to again. These people are just not replaceable. There's good people that come along, but I'm going to tell you, nobody can do what these people pulled off over the years. Dan does all kinds of crazy things. He's still surfing, building surfboards, and does a lot of surfing, and that's what he was doing when he started out. Recently I caught up with Dan at a dinner on the West Coast, and the following is a little speech that he gave after the announcement of his retirement.
When I first started working at Volvo, I was in the warehouse, and it was $2.62 an hour, and all the parts I could steal. And I did borrow a lot of parts. But I think about 6 months after I started, I got a $100 check from the government of Sweden. What in the hell is this for? And went to the controller, and he said, I have no idea. And it came to my house, so it was the rest of the house, and it was a Swedish stamp and the whole thing, and it was a check for $100. And they had no idea, so in those days, everything was mail back and forth. No, we didn't have anything we had clay tablets. So about 6 months after that, the controller came and said, well, it's because you had a child. I said, okay, I still don't understand. Well, the Swedish population had a declining birth rate, so the government was giving out a bounty if you had a had a child, and it was $100. And those days, $100 is a lot of money. Yeah. And then, well, I'm an American. Well, they said that you work for Volvo, so you're part of the Swedish thing. I said, this is cool.
20 years later.
No, absolutely. Believe me, it didn't work that way. But I thought, well, God, that's kind of a cool company. And then through the years of just dealing with the Swedes and the way they do things and the mentality they have about people, and that there is this real care for other people and and it's in the company and it's outside the company. So it was just kind of a cool experience. I thought, well, this is a neat company. I'll stick around for a little while and see what happens. And then all of a sudden it turns to this. It's like, holy cow, where'd all the time go? It's just been a good company. They let you do what you want to do, wherever you want to go. There's a Swedish thing about if you have an opinion and you want to voice it and he doesn't hear it, I can go up the food chain and nobody really gets you. Because believe me, I've had given everybody a lot of chances to fire me. You know, I used to show up for work in an old 444 with a surfboard out the back wearing a wetsuit. Walking into the warehouse and my boss would look at me and he goes, oh, it's just, okay, you know, whatever. I go in and take a quick shower because we had a sauna and we had showers in there. And that was another thing, we had 25-cent beer in the Coke machines. So I'd take a shower, get out of the way. Oh, it was a great place to work. I'd get out of the wetsuit, and then if the surf was still good, we'd go down at lunch, a bunch of us, and we'd go surfing at lunchtime and come back with wetsuits on again. So it's just been a good company. It's,
how many years, Danny? How many years?
Whatever 66 is, I don't know.
So long.
We don't want to
long time, yeah.
I'm gonna take off my shoes, count that up.
If we could count that high, if we could count that high, we wouldn't be journalists.
Yeah.
How is that possible when you're like 40?
Yeah, well, it's just, you know, and still had diapers on, and Mom just threw me out of the house. But it's been a fun run. It's been great. And so I never thought that I would meet as many people like you guys, you know, and just have befriended all these great people. Bob Austin, when he hired me, and I had no idea what PR was. Yeah, here's to Bob. He called me over to his office. I had absolutely no idea what Bob was, but I knew he was important to the company. I knew I was in trouble. I did something somewhere along there that screwed Bob up. And he said, sit down, I want to talk to you. I said, you want to work over here? Well, what's here? Well, PR. What's PR? Said, oh, we have a great time. We go out, meet a lot of people, go to great foods, go to different places. You'll like it. I swear. And he said, it's a lot of fun. Just come on over. Okay, so I came over. He said, but here's 3 things. Never lie to them, you guys. Never break a promise never make a promise you can't keep, and treat them as the way you would want to be treated. And that's what I said. Yeah. And well, what do I do? He said, just answer the phone. Really,
newbies in that business don't do that.
Just answer the phone. So it's been fun. And
wasn't part of Ford then?
Huh?
Wasn't part of Ford then?
No, we weren't part of anybody then. It was on our own. But, well, thank you guys.
Thank you.